Hey everybody, my name is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is your new moon view for April 5th, 2019. This is a general new moon view, and if you want to know more about how the moon is affecting your element, whether you're fire, earth, air, or water sign, you can check back on this channel and I will be posting those shortly. Or if you would like to get a little deeper and you want to see how the moon is affecting your personal astrology, you can reach out to me at Carrie at wooingnature.life. So this is a really exciting, fun new moon. We've been getting a little deep, getting a little heavy, digging in over the course of the last new and full moons for 2019. So we're still kind of edging our way out of the 2018 energy and moving fully into the 2019 energy. Some of that's slow, some of that's a slow process. I think everybody was really excited when the new year came in because 2018 was rough for all of us. So now we're into or ending the first quarter or the first phase of the year, and it still feels like we're still dragging a little bit of 2018 with us, but this moon I think is really going to help you really feel like you're out of it. So if you're still nursing some old wounds and some old difficult problems from 2018, know that this new moon is a good time for you to connect and get with your lunar self and your lunar cycle, and then also for you to kind of toss away some of that old stuff from 2018. I feel like we're really starting to feel the energy that 2019 promised for all of us. So this is the time. So the new moon is actually in 15 degrees Aries. It will be in Aries, so you know how Aries is. Aries is a starter planet. It starts everything. So renewal, refreshing, doing new things, taking on new projects, taking on new challenges. Aries is going to give you all the fire energy to make that happen. But it's also a playful moon. It brings in with it this element of nature and being connected to nature. So that's why I'm in love with it and wooing nature. You gotta love any moon that is gonna really draw you to that place. So it's saying to connect with nature, connect with the natural elements around you. Get grounded. Go put your bare feet on the ground. Roll around in the grass. Spend time with the flowers. This beautiful tree behind me has really inspired me. So go get out in nature and spend time with it, and it will help you learn to trust the rhythms of life. It'll help you learn to fall into that flow and not be afraid of whatever it is that might seem to pose a challenge for you. Become like a little child. Be like a child. Be childlike. That's what this moon is encouraging you to do. Um, don't do things according to the way that you've always done them. Don't get into those habits. Use your instincts and let your intuition be a guide. I know that is sometimes difficult for people because if you have fallen out of that, if you have gotten away from that, then sometimes you feel like, well, I don't really know how. I don't know how to awaken this childlike way in me. And I'm telling you, the best way to do it is kick off your shoes, go run in the backyard, go, like I said, roll around in the grass, go get under the sprinkler if it's warm enough where you are. But any of those things that will draw you back to your childhood or things that you did when you were a child are going to waken a part of your brain and a part of your emotional self that needs to be open right now. So being open is very important too, because when you're open, you're able to receive the energies that are coming in, those positive energies that are coming in. If you're too open, it can also, bring in some other things too, but this isn't that time. This moon that's coming in isn't really bringing in negative energy. It's all about touching the inner child inside of you. Life is a dance, so freestyle. That's it. I'm reminded about a song by Seal. It was an old song back in the 90s that says, "You're never going to survive unless you get a little crazy." So this moon in Aries is about that. It is about touching that part of yourself that you've forgotten about, that you need to. When we're children, it's easy for us to go there. It's easy for us to just be. But as we get older and as life happens and struggles happen and difficulties happen, we begin to close our heart off and we close ourselves off, and then we become these very rigid representations of our true self, because your true self has always been with you, even from childhood. So just really want to reiterate that and really want to drive that in. This element of innocence and this element of throwing away the things that bog you down and that make you heavy. That's what you want to connect with. So reward and support comes from the courage that it takes to seek that adventure. So when you will be rewarded for that. So the reward isn't coming from, oh, I worked so hard, I spent 40 hours at work and I did an extra 10 at home, and I gotta get on my grind and I gotta hustle and I gotta make it happen. That's not where the rewards are going to come from this new moon. Anything that you put in place during this phase right now, anything that you intend for yourself positively, it is going to be rewarded by that sense of adventure. It's going to be rewarded by the courage that that it takes for you to let go and just be. So if you're looking for support, if you're looking for your abundance, then stir up your sense of adventure. Stir up your sense of adventure. Let's see, what else can I tell you? It says to call on your delightful nature, enthusiasm, optimism, confidence. The confidence is going to come from the enthusiasm. The confidence is actually going to come from you embracing that inner child. Some of that is going to engender some confidence in you, but the confidence and the optimism and the enthusiasm is what's going to carry you, because what that does is it takes the load off, it takes the burdens off, it gets rid of the heaviness. And so you can't get anywhere if you're taking a heavy load with you. You want your yoke to be easy and you want your burdens to be light. And so lighten up completely. Take it all off. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? Okay, so the next thing is the aspecting of the moon. So that's pretty much what the moon itself is doing. That's what energy this moon is coming in with, but it also is aspected with other planets, and it happens to be that this moon is positively aspecting to the planet Jupiter, which is also in Sagittarius. So you got this Aries energy and the Sagittarius energy working together. That means be spontaneous. That means if something comes up that's out of the ordinary for you to do, some other place to go, some other people to connect with, it may be travel out of the country or traveling to a different place or going to a class or anything that's going to expand your mind, because Jupiter and Sagittarius, Jupiter is in its natural sign of Sagittarius, is all about expansion. Expanding the mind, expanding the experiences, and getting outside of your little four-cornered room. So doing that there's a link. So the connection between the Aries moon and Jupiter, there's this link there. And the link is, again, going back to childhood. So not only is the moon saying, embrace your inner child, but the Jupiter is saying, make believe, use your imagination, let your imagination run wild, and not just wild, but run with the intention that you are putting into whatever it is that you want to do, and whatever it is that you want to focus on that is going to bring you that new life. So play and make believe and imagination is what Jupiter is asking for you to do as well. So going back to the childhood thing, okay? So you're moving with your instincts, You're not letting yourself be tied down and bogged down to other people's stuff, other people's perceptions, what other people want you to do. You're living your life with a little bit of reckless abandon, okay? And in the process, you also want to utilize your imagination, which is another thing that we have lots of when we're children. Use your imagination to visualize yourself where you want to be. And not just visualize yourself where you want to be, but add that other element of childhood where you're pretending a little bit. So, for example, let's say you need a new car, you want a new car, you've been wanting a new car, the other car is kind of breaking down, something's going on with it. Well, every time you get in your car, envision or pretend that you're driving in the new car. And so what that does is it puts you in a different mind space. It puts you in a happier place, a lighter place. So you're not sitting there saying, oh gosh, I wish I had another car. This car sucks. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. You're getting in the vehicle that you have and you're using it almost as, like the stage that you're on. And you are acting as if this vehicle is the vehicle that you've always wanted. The same thing for your job. Every time you go into this job that you dislike, you're trying to find another one, you're trying to get your career off. When you walk out of the door in the morning, walk out the door as if you are already in that position. So see yourself in a position and act upon it. And use your imagination and use this childlike sense of pretending to make that happen. Power right now is speaking through the child. It's speaking through the child's voice. It's speaking through innocence. It's speaking through play. It's speaking through the imagination. It's speaking through, again, the inner child. So that's where the power comes in. Remember when we were talking about being rewarded? So what you're being rewarded for comes from the courage that it takes to find yourself back in that spot. And then also the power comes from speaking from that as well. So, and we all know that knowledge is power, and we also know that our words are very powerful too. So start speaking those things into existence. If there are skills that you still need to learn or that you still need to develop, those skills are also going to come through a form of play. So enjoy what you're learning. If you're learning something new, make it a game. Make it fun for you. Anything that feels like it's a burden, turn it into fun. Turn it into something that is then enjoyable for you. Everything stems from the mind. Your world, your experience around you, it starts right here. So when you change your mind about it, then everything changes. And this moon it's bringing it in. It's really great, really fantastic. I guess that's the bulk of it. There's some cautionary tales here for the moon as well. Steer away from competition. If you want to, if you're feeling extra ambitious, just put a check on whether or not this is for the right reasons. And right reasons look like what's going to leave you light and free and happy and joyful. It's not about competing with somebody else, trying to beat somebody else, trying to show somebody something. So the cautionary tale here is to stay away from that kind of energy. Also, you also want to stay away from trying to be in situations where it makes you feel secure, because the security is really like buying you into the group think and the group mindset. It makes you feel comfortable that that you're around a whole bunch of people and that people love you and they care about you and all that. People love you and people care about you, but that doesn't mean you have to do everything that they're doing, okay? Especially if it isn't feeding your higher self. So if there's any kind of, like I said, competition, pettiness, striving against each other, the caution is to stay away from that kind of energy during this moon as much as you possibly can. All right, folks, I think that's a good round view of that. Imagination, play, use imagination and play into and add that into what it is that you're trying to do coming up. And again, the new moon is about setting new intentions. It's about thinking about how you want to approach a situation in a new way. Anything that you want to do that is new and different is rewarded during a new moon period, but it's also a time to do some self-reflection. So don't forget to do your self-reflection as well. All right, I think that's it. If you want to reach out to me again, you can do that at Carrie@wooingnature.life. I'll be glad to give you your personal new moon view if you need that. Or like I said, if you would like to know what your how the moon is affecting your element, just hang tight and I will put those and post those up very shortly. As always, I hope you have a pleasant day and a wonderful life.